Hello. Just share this link out to my people. And we'll get started in just a minute here because I sent the wrong link out and then had to resend an email. So we'll see if anyone joins. Oh, hi. I see we have one person. We'll wait just one more minute because I sent the wrong link. All right. I see we have a few more people joining. Cool. Well, let's get started. And if anyone starts late, they can watch it on the replay. So today is going to be a Yin restorative practice. And all that is it'll have a little bit of Yin, which is deep stretch yoga, where we'll be holding the poses for 3 to 5 minutes to get deeper into the stretches, letting gravity kind of pull you closer to the earth. And then we'll do some restorative, which if you've taken my restorative before, you know what that is. But if you haven't, it's deep relaxation poses that have a lot of really awesome benefits, but don't take as much active work as a regular yoga practice. So let's get started. We're going to start with a little centering. So grab it. For me today, I have some pillows, a rolled up blanket that I'm using as a bolster, another blanket just to have in case I get chilly. I'm going to have you start sitting in just a comfortable seated position. I'm going to sit on top of my blanket, just have a little lift in my hips. And let's all just get settled. Stack your bones, head over heart, heart over hips. You can place your hands palms down on your knees if you're feeling the need for a little more groundedness, or if you need to receive a little energy today, take that palms to the ceiling. Let your eyes come to a soft gaze in front of you, or flutter all the way closed. Take a scan of the body here, starting from the crown of the head and moving all the way to the toes. Just check in with yourself. Check in with how you're feeling today. Is it any different than you were feeling yesterday or the last time you came to your mat? Check in on any points of the body that might feel some tension, might feel anything at all right now. No need to manipulate it. No need to do anything actively. Just take note of where those spots are and move on. When you've reached your toes, start to bring the attention to the breath, the rise and the fall of the belly with every inhale and every exhale. Start to bring the attention to the diaphragm dropping and the belly rising, with every inhale. Filling up every bit of that belly with air. Maybe deepening your inhale in the process, or making it just a little bit longer. And every exhale, emptying out all of the air as the belly button falls back towards the spine. On your next inhale, fill the belly, drop the diaphragm. When that's full, move the breath up, inhaling even more to let the rib cage expand out to the sides. And this 2-part breath. Exhaling from the top all the way down, letting the ribs collapse and then the belly fall flat. And we'll keep that 2-part breath for a few cycles. Filling the belly, dropping the diaphragm, letting the rib cage expand to the sides, collapsing the ribs, and emptying the belly. And let's take this one last step. So we'll start by filling the belly, dropping the diaphragm. Feel the rib cage expand to the side, and then breathe all the way up towards the clavicle with the sternum lifting just slightly. And exhale from the top, ribs collapse all the way down, everything out. We'll take a few cycles of breath here. Inhaling through the diaphragm, through the rib cage, all the way up to the clavicle, and exhaling from the top, all the way down. This time, when you get all the way to the top, you're going to hold the breath in for just a moment, and then exhale from the top down. So everything we've been doing before, that same 3-part breath, just holding at the top for as long as it feels right. Just don't get too crazy with it. And wherever you are in your breath, exhale all your stale air out and come back to a normal breath. Take just a moment to note how your body's feeling. Is it feeling a little different than it was just a few moments ago? And let your eyelids flutter open. Let's move off of that blanket or bolster if you took a little lifted seat. And we'll take a little bit of cat-cow. Drop your wrists underneath your shoulders, your hips over top of your knees. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, hip points back and up. Exhale, curl through the spine for cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, curl through the spine. We're going to come back to neutral tabletop. Bring the soles of the feet to touch and the knees to the outer edges of the mat. If any of you have ever done yoga with Adrienne, she calls this drunk cat-cow. So drop your hips down towards your left heel and come all the way across, lifting back up through the right side. So you're taking little circles here, circle all the way back over to the left side, and then back to the front. So we'll drop the heels, shift the hips to the opposite side, and then push the chest up over to the upper right corner, and then over to the upper left corner. Take a few more of these, really trying to find the full extent of your movement here. So see just how far you can go in each direction, just how big you can make your circle. And finish wherever you are, and let's take it to the other side. Beautiful. We'll meet in center and bring your knees together. So we're going to take broken toe pose. Go ahead, grab if you've got a blanket or a pillow or a block, and have that handy. We're going to flip the toes under so that your toes are tucked under and your hips fall back onto your heels. Start to slowly crawl yourself up to sit head over heart, heart over hips, and the weight will go down into your toes. If this is too much, go ahead, take a block, take a pillow. I'm going to pop this blanket here because I like to have one, and sit down on top of that. If you have blocks, if you have anything to hold on to on either side of you, if that feels good, go ahead and do that. We're going to be here for a hot second. Know that this pose can be a little intense. This is a yin pose, so it's one of the deep stretch poses. And if it's ever too much, really try to go, first try to use the breath as a tool, focusing on your inhales and your exhales. And if you need to, you can pop out of it for a minute, a second, however long you need, and pop back in. And we are about halfway through. Just check in with yourself. Check in with the sensation in your feet. Is it feeling more intense than it did at the start? Are you still feeling good, feeling cool? This is one that used to be extremely challenging for me. I would already have gotten out of it at least twice and popped back in. And over time and doing it often, it's gotten a little bit easier for me. But it's still an intense one for me. I think it might be genetic. Some people don't feel it as much. Don't quote me on that, though. Keep your face soft. Keep your shoulders from coming up towards your ears. And slowly start to roll over onto the palms. Remove any props you have. Flip the toes back over and tap the tops of your feet on the mat to release any tension, anything that's popped up here. Should all start to dissipate. Beautiful. Let's move into an extended child's pose here. So press your big toes together, bring your knees to the opposite sides of the mat or to the outer edges of the mat. I'm going to go ahead and pop this blanket all the way out in front of me. If you have a block, you can do it with a block. If you don't want to use anything at all, you don't have to. And we're going to slide our forehead all the way toward the mat. If you'd like, excuse me, if you'd like a little extra, you can place your forearms and hands up on top of some kind of prop for a little extra lift. Know that some of the poses we take in this type of yoga, we hold on a little bit longer than comfortable. So the pose might start to feel a little less comfortable because you've been holding it for longer. It might start to feel a little more comfortable because your body's opened up a little bit. Just take note of any changes in your body, knowing that if you need to make an adjustment to get a little deeper, if you feel like you need a prop, the prop that I suggested earlier and you didn't take it, the door is always open for you to feel like you can take that. Or if you took the prop and it's too much for you, don't be married to that. Just listen to your body, listen to the changes that are happening. And we're here for about 30 seconds more. So see if you can really relax into this. Feel the belly expanding towards the top of the thighs with the inhales. And slowly crawl yourself up to a seated position. We're going to pop again on the sits bones. You can use a blanket if you'd like to sit up on, like I did at the beginning, to lift the hips a little bit. And we'll take Baddha Konasana feet. So soles of the feet together, sitting up straight. And from here, find some props. You can Option, if this is a lot on the hips and you feel like you're not going to be able to maintain that comfortably for a long period of time, you can slip pillows underneath the knees and then stack your props up. Maybe you've got blocks, maybe you've got pillows, maybe you've got blankets. You take whatever you need to stack it all the way up and then just lean forward and plant your forehead down on the props. The object here is to find relaxation within the pose. So make sure if it's uncomfortable or if you don't have enough props or you can't reach your props and your forehead can't relax, that you have props that plant themselves all the way up to reach your forehead. Knowing that you can always take props away as your body starts to open up. We're about halfway through. So check in with yourself. Do you need to remove a prop? Has your body opened up a little bit? Are you feeling pretty comfortable where you are? Take a second, take note, and then make the changes you need to make. Using the strength of your hands, press yourself all the way up to a seated position. Remove whatever props you have in front of you. And if you've taken a bolster underneath or a blanket or anything to prop your hips up, go ahead and remove that as well. We're going to go into a Supta Baddha Konasana or reclined bound angle. So same legs here, soles of the feet together. If those pillows felt good underneath the knees and you want to take that in a little bit more of a restorative manner, go ahead and keep those there. If you would like to have a little more opening of the hips, I'm going to have my bolster here. Slide these pillows to the side. And we'll have just a simple back bend with the bolster. So we'll lay all the way back down so the bolster falls in the middle of the shoulder, in the middle of just like underneath where the shoulders are for a little simple back bend. And if it feels a little too much on the neck, you can slide a block underneath the back of your head. Let your arms come out at a T for a little additional chest opening, or if it feels good, place one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart. Release any tension you might be holding in the eyebrows or in the jaw. Resist the urge to engage the abs here. Let them relax and feel them stretch. Know that if your mind starts to wander, you can always bring it back to the breath, counting your inhales and your exhales. No need to manipulate the breath. Just count them. Just see where it's at. We're not here for much longer. See if there's just one more thing you can let go of here. One more thing you can relax. Go ahead, use your hands to come to either side of the thighs and press your legs up together to close them like a book. Roll over onto your right side. You can push your props out of the way. And we're going to come all the way onto the stomach. Leave my mound of props over here. So all the way over onto the stomach. Let's actually, before we go any further, come into a cobra. Snuggle those elbows into your sides. Press the palms down into the mat, fingertips wide. Look towards the left for a stretch in the side of the neck. For a little more, you can jut the jaw out. Looks a little weird, but feels great. And then turn to the other side, taking the jaw if that feels good. Beautiful. Come on back to center. We're going to place your arms out so the elbows will come out to the sides. So you're on your forearm with your elbows out to the sides, palms one stacked on top of the other, both facing down. Go ahead, let your right leg come out to the side, kind of at as much of a right angle as you can get it. And let your left cheek come to fall on top of the backs of your hands. Feel your hips sinking into the mat. Feel your muscles relaxing so much that they're sliding away from the bone. Release any tension in the jaw. Feel the belly expand toward the floor. With every inhale, with every exhale, feel that right hip sink just a little deeper into the mat. No need to do any work. Gravity will do it all. Slowly start to lengthen that right foot back behind you. Bring the right arm all the way out to your side. So it's shooting out to the side like you're a scarecrow, but with just one arm. We're going to start to roll over. So your palm should be facing down. We're going to roll over for a little chest opener and a little pec stretch. So take the left palm, plant it down into the mat next to you, and start to slowly roll yourself over towards that right shoulder. You can take the left foot and plant it on the ground behind you for a little stability. And just roll back as much as feels good. So know that only you know your limit. So just slowly and with control, roll back over onto that shoulder for a stretch, stopping whenever the stretch feels good. And slowly, with control, press into the left foot to roll yourself back onto your stomach. Bring both arms out in front of you again, like we had before. One palm stacked on top of the other. Bring the forehead to the backs of the hands and rock the forehead side to side. A little third eye massage here. Go ahead. If you haven't already, switch palms, which ones are on top. Snuggle that left leg all the way out to the side like we did with the right, as much of a right angle as you can get it at. And let your right ear be planted on the tops of the hands. And then relax. Let your body melt into the mat. You might notice that this side feels a little bit different than the other side. It might feel the same. Just take note. Be aware. With every inhale, feel the belly coming closer to the mat. With every exhale, feel the hips sinking closer to the mat. Go ahead, straighten that left leg back out behind you. Both legs shooting straight out behind you. Bring that, I gotta scoot forward a little bit. Bring that left arm all the way out to the side in a straight line, palm down. Bring the palm to the right palm to the mat. And start to slowly roll back over onto that left shoulder, taking that left foot, or the right foot rather, and planting it behind the body. So right behind the right leg, knee bent. Once again, listen to your body. Don't push yourself further than you can. This can also be an intense stretch. If you need a little more, you can let the knee, the right knee, start to fall backward a little bit to pull you back further, but no need to push yourself. You know what's up. Your body knows what's up. And gravity will take care of the rest. Feel that shoulder, that pec opening up. And slowly, with control, bring your right leg back out in front and roll back over onto the belly. You can take one hand on top of the other, take another little third eye massage here. And then when you're ready, bring your hands to either side of your shoulders and pop back up onto your knees. So we're going to take a little bit of a sleeping swan or sleeping pigeon. So if you know that you prefer to go into that via downward facing dog, go ahead, take what you need. I like to have my props close here just in case I feel like I need them. I'm going to take it from tabletop because when I do restorative or yin, that's how I like to take it. So go ahead, inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, bring the right ankle behind the left wrist. As much as you can, parallel the shin to the front of the mat. Mine doesn't fully parallel. And crawl that back leg towards the back of the mat, that left leg. If your right hip doesn't fully sit flush with the mat, take a block, take a blanket, take a pillow, something, and slide it underneath to lift it up. You want your hips to be square and not to be leaning to one or the other side. Find a little length, lift up, square the hips, and come all the way down to a sleeping position. You can stack pillows underneath your chest to relax here like this. You can stack blankets, you can stack blocks if you feel like you need a little support to get fully comfortable. We are going to be here for a while, so make sure you take the time and you set up so that you can maintain this for 4 or 5 minutes. Know that you can always come out of it. Know that you can take change if you have a certain prop array. You can change what props you're using. You can change how you're using them. Just listen to your body and we'll get into it. See if you can find some relaxation while in this position. Relaxation in the hips, in the abdominals, in the shoulders. Let the shoulders melt towards the earth, the eyebrow and the jaw. Sometimes when the poses get hard, we tense up in places that aren't even being worked. We transfer that tension. It's not a bad thing. We all do it, but just take note of where it's happening and try to let that go. Wherever you are, start to crawl back up, hands on either side of your hips. Roll over onto that right hip. And swing the left leg out in front. Both legs come straight out in front. You can let each knee rise and fall, tapping them on the ground. You can bend both knees, take a little windshield wiper, dropping them to both sides. Just listen to your body. Listen to what you need in this moment. Beautiful. We'll go ahead, swing those legs back around and take a tabletop position. Again, if pigeon or sleeping swan, as we call it in restorative, is easier for you from a down dog, that is always an option. Lift the left leg high. Sweep the left ankle behind the right wrist. Crawl the left foot. Crawl the left foot back. If that left hip doesn't totally touch the ground, slide a pillow, a blanket, a block underneath. And this side might be different from the other side. I need a little bit of a pillow on this side, and I don't on the other. So just pay attention. Don't get complacent. And lengthen the spine here and come all the way forward. Again, stopping where you need to and then using props so you can fully relax into it no matter what height you're stopping at. Maybe you want a block or a pillow underneath your forehead. Take note of how different the sensation might be from one side to the other. Remember to relax those hips, relax the abdominals, the jaw, the eyebrows, the shoulder blades. Know that you can always bring the attention back to the belly falling towards the inside of that left leg with every inhale and retreating with every exhale. Slowly start to walk your hands back up, removing any props. Rock over onto that left hip. Let the right leg swing out in front. Again, option here to tap the backs of your knees on the mat or to bend the knees and drop them from side to side in a windshield wiper motion. And let's all meet all the way back down on the back. So slowly lower yourself down. Crawl your heels in toward your hips. Take the right leg and cross it over top of the left. And from here, we'll take twisted root. So you're going to let your left, so the right leg is crossed, so the right foot is on the outside, the outer edge of the left knee. And you're going to let that right knee fall all the way over to the other side. Arms come out to a T or to goalpost arms. Gaze falls either up at the ceiling or towards the right fingertips. No need to do any work here. No need to push yourself. We do enough work in our everyday lives and our more active practices. It's important to take advantage of the moments where we don't have to work. We can get just as much of a benefit. Using your left hand, guide your right knee back up to center. Unwind the knees. Rock the knees from side to side here to release the lower back just a little. And then go ahead, cross the left leg over top of the right knee. And from here, drop the left knee all the way down to the floor of the mat. Arms coming out either to a T or at goalpost arms. Gaze falls up to the ceiling or towards your left fingertips. We're once again letting gravity do the work here. Release any hold you have, any tension in the inner thighs or in the hips. Your legs might start to slide apart a little bit, and that's okay. Any tension in the jaw and the ankles. And using your right hand, lift that left knee back up to center. Unwind the legs. Drop the knees from side to side. We'll release that low back again. Let's set up for our final Shavasana. Really take your time here in finding a comfortable position. Maybe you can put pillows underneath your knees for a little extra support. Maybe you've gotten a little chilly and you want to cover up with a blanket. You can go right ahead and lay all the way back down for final Shavasana. Take your hands, bring them like a little hammock behind your head, and pull your head, holding on to the back of the head, the bones right in the back of the head, and pull them up towards the front of your mat. Your chin will move slightly towards your chest, and then set the head on the mat. Return your hands to your sides, palms up. Relax your eyebrows, the space between your eyebrows. Let your jaw be so relaxed that your lips slightly part. Your eyes lightly closed. Shoulder blades sink into the mat, as do the arms and the backs of the hands, the hips and the thighs, the knees, all the way through to the feet and the toes. Everything melting into the mat. Not because you're working to do it, but because gravity's taking you there. Final Shavasana is yours for as long as you'd like it. You'd like to stay here a little bit longer, you can go ahead, ignore me moving forward, or reach over, shut your laptop, turn off your phone. But if you're ready to be guided out, start to bring some gentle movement to the fingers and to the toes. Draw small circles on the ceiling with the nose. Bring some circles to the wrists and the ankles. Drop the head from side to side. Sweep the hands up overhead, reach the arms in one direction, the feet in the other for a long full body stretch. And roll over to your right or left side, using the bicep as a pillow. Final Shavasana marks the death of our practice. Fetal pose represents the new life that we bring off of our mats and out into the world in our everyday lives. Using the strength of your hands, press yourself back up to a seated position. And bring your hands to heart center, palms together. The love, the light, the teacher, and the student in me honors the love, the light, the teacher, and the student in all of you. Bring your thumbs to third eye center and bow forward. Namaste. Pop forward here. Thank you to everyone who joined. I hope this was a nice way to spend your Wednesday evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully. Have a great night.